Shalom, shalom. Let me try to see if this is going. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. All right, hey, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, a Great Millstone only. Okay, peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which hold the kind of composure and integrity. All right, this is the brother Yakawal, just coming back with another lesson. The title, as you see, is Jacob's Trouble. Everyone is a gangster until a real gangster walks in the room. And that gangster that I'm referring to is Esau, okay? The real gangster that we already know, which when you even look into the history of the origin of gangs, it was Esau that started up the first gangs, okay? And when you look up the word gang, okay? When you look up that word gang, Salaki, let me look it up already. All right, the word gang means an organized group of criminals. Now, the word criminals or crime goes back to the word crimson, which is the color of red. All right, and we already know that Esau, man, he's that red man, that bloody man, the man of crimes. Okay, it says number 2 right here. If you come down right there, it says to arrange together to work in coordination. Now, these attributes or character is applied to the so-called white man. Okay, so that's why I'm titling the video "Jacob's Trouble." Everyone is a gangster, and I'm saying that I'm talking about these 2/3. All right, you 2/3 Jakes. All right, you so-called hard thugs. You hood niggas and all that. I'm talking about you in that part. But the real gangster that's coming is the so-called white man. Okay. Now, reason that really inspired me to make this lesson today was this verse. The brother posted this, man, because he got a strike on his channel, and Salakia, and he had it in the NLT version, and it's pretty dope, man. And when you read it in the NLT, it lets you know who the wicked are. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Now, what does the word insurrection really mean? It's talking about a violent uprising. Now, when you go into the scriptures, you already know, man, the one man on the planet, all right, in fact, I can get that as well. The one man on the planet that establishes everything through violence, all right, is a so-called white man. Okay? These scriptures fit them. The wicked, the ones who come up with insurrection, all right? Let me see. I think I'm talking about the one in, was it Habakkuk? He built it in house, or he built it not. Slacking for the slow internet right now. I buildeth not. And this is already Jeremiah 22:13. It says, "Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness and his chambers by wrong." How did the so-called white man establish America? Okay, by violently pushing himself in. Okay, with the blood, all right, with the sword, Salakia. All right, shedding the innocent blood of you people of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. Though when he came over here to lay down Israel, it was primarily the Northern Kingdom. All right, and then he brought the Southern Kingdom over from West Africa, and parts. There was some of Judah, Benjamin, Levi among scattered throughout areas of Hispaniola, South America, Mexico, and all that. But the bulk majority of them came over there from West Africa. All right, but this man Esau, the so-called white man, uh, built America unrighteously. He established his house by wrong. All right, we know this, man. This is common knowledge now, man. We shouldn't even have to go into the scriptures to show you that this. See, how did the white man get America, man? By violence, by unrighteousness, man. You should know this. All right, you can, what is that show? Wild and Out, I think it's called. Yeah, Wild and Out with Nick Cannon. They had a segment called Hood Jeopardy, and DJ D-Rec asked one time. He says things white people have destroyed, and the first thing that came up was what is planet Earth, and everybody was laughing. But it's common knowledge, man, that the so-called white man is the one who is out here being a fucking thug, man. All right, being a gangster by having organized crime. All right, it is called controlled chaos, order ab chaos. All right, creating these false flag events so that he can push his narrative and agenda, which is an NWO, the New World Order. All right, and this is all by wrong. He wants to control the world, but it says, "Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages and giveth him not for his work." We already know, man, the so-called white man, he didn't pay us, all right, to build up America. So I want to get one more before I get on this primary topic, man, because the lesson was titled Jacob's Trouble dash everyone is a gangster until the real gangster walks in the room. And I was referring to the ones who think they're real, hardcore, niggas and everything, is you two-third Jakes, man. And a lot of these some of these two-third Jakes come out of these other camps. We already know, man. First of all, you got the group Sakari, which I believe the word, if I'm not mistaken, Sakari goes back to like a dagger, a weapon. All right. And you see how their spirits are, man. You see how the main dude Eleazar's spirit is, man. Real thuggish, thinking he real hood, right? But hey, man, it's guys like that are gonna get caught up in Jacob's trouble, man. You think you real tough now, man? Well, let's see where you're at when Esau comes in pouring in like a flood in the time of Jacob's trouble, which we're gonna get on that. But it says Job 20:19, because he had oppressed and forsaken the poor. Salakia. Let me just go right to it. Job 20:19, it says, because he had oppressed and had forsaken the poor, because he had violently taken away an house which he builded not. All right. This is what makes Esau a criminal, because he's doing things unrighteously. All right. He's doing things, he's establishing his enterprise by wrong, and he's giving nobody credit but himself. It was William C. Langford, just cracking back in like, I don't even know what years, he made the comment that that the political system that was created in America was only achieved and made greatly by the so-called white man himself, and nobody else contributed nor could have to make it the way that it is today. And that's why he believed that they were the superior race. And then he went on further to say that the so-called white man, that with God, that the Most High basically left the earth to him and his care. That's fucking bullshit, man. That's maniacal. That's insane for you to actually believe that, there's I think it's called like the law of discord or something like that, if not mistaken. There's a doctrine or a philosophy out there that basically the earth is given to the strong and whoever can take it. This is the so-called white man's mentality, the real criminal mind. They have that saying, the criminal mastermind. Esau is the criminal mastermind. Okay. But going back to that word, I'm going to go into it one more time. Okay. When you look up the word, you know what? Let's try gangster. Let's try actual gangster, man. Yeah, okay, it's the same thing. It says a member of a gang of violent criminals. Now, a crime is what? Okay, I'm getting to a point with this. A crime is an action or omission that constitute an offense that may be prosecuted by the state and is punishable by law. Now, keep this in the spiritual aspect. It says illegal activities. What law are we really supposed to be adhering to? All right, the laws of Yahweh Shem Shai, the law, statutes, and commandments, the 613 laws, not 36,000, but the 613 laws that the Lord laid down for man to live by. All right, and what does Esau do? He omits those. All right, he likes to lie and say, under in God we trust, but he does everything against what the Most High said. All right, misdeed and wrong, illegal activities, law breaking, an action or activity that, although not illegal, is considered to be evil, shameful, or wrong. Hey, man, what did they say about the evil man? All right, and just bear with me with the slow ass internet or this device. Esau's tools, man, are still primitive. The evil man. I know there's a scripture where it talks about the evil man. Because this is all Esau. All right, the real criminal, the real thug. Because when you looked at the word gangster, it went into a criminal, a hoodlum. All right. Let's see. There's one in particular. Proverbs 2. Is it Proverbs 2 and 12? It says Proverbs 2 and 12, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. We already know that the so-called white man has spoke frowardly all the way to the heavens, pursuant to Revelation 13. All right, he spoke great things of blasphemy against the Lord. This is that evil man, the so-called white man. All right, this is the real gangster. It says to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leave the paths of uprightness. What's contrary to uprightness? Unrighteousness. All right, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked. It says, who ways are crooked. Hey, man, today in society, man, a thug, a hoodlum, a criminal, a nigga that did time, they're looked at, they're upheld, they're esteemed. Like, oh, that nigga's bad, man. Oh, it's a badass motherfucker, man. A beat ass nigga. Yeah, man. And this is the delight in the frowardness of the wicked. And this time, man, having a bad rep. You ask some of these hoes out there today, man. There's on YouTube, what do they call them? Little surveys and shit. They'll ask certain women, like, what type of man do you like? They'll tell you, like, a man with a record. This whole place is turned upside down, man. It's because it's being upheld, though, by the evil man who's speaking froward things, the so-called white man. It says, whose ways are crooked, and they froward in their paths. This is all the dealings of the so-called white man. Okay? So, the real criminal, the real gangster is the so-called white man. Which brings me to Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, Jacob's trouble. Because this topic, man, really what I wanted to harp on today was you 2/3 Jakes. All right? And like I said, the term, you beat ass niggas, the ones that you think you really hard, the ones that you think you about to overcome all the trouble that's coming. Because we speak about Jacob's trouble, man, something that you Jakes have been putting off and continually put off, that you act like it's not going to happen. All right? Like the so-called white man is not really preparing war against you right now. That couldn't be further from the truth. Okay? The truth is, the real gangster thug, Esau, the so-called white man, is preparing war against you. And he's ready. He wants to kill you Jakes. And a lot of you 2/3, man, a lot of you Jakes, man, what did I do? Slacking. A lot of you Jakes act like you hard right now, man, but there's a time coming where you're going to get laid down. All right, I was thinking about this today. For a while, man, when this truth was really coming out from 2008, when the apostles got on YouTube, all the way up to now, or even I'll say like, man, I want to say like 2000, like 15, and I'm that's kind of off with the just calculation. You had the Spirit moving in a way where it came out with, bringing back the remembrance of the people of Israel, letting them know who they were. They, Judah, Issachar, this and that. Then it, the Spirit transitioned to like learning how to worship Yahweh Shem Yahshai, mingled with, know who you are. But repentance was being preached. At one point in time, man, the truth was heavily preaching repentance to you, Jakes, to you 2/3, telling you to come back and acknowledge the Father. But if you haven't noticed, man, that time and period is kind of really over. All right. We preached repentance to you, Jakes, man, for the longest time. Told you to stop your shenanigans, your hooliganism, your malarkey, and you didn't listen. So the Lord, what did he tell you, man, what happened if you did not listen? Well, then you were going to get caught up in his wrath. And that wrath is going to come in the form of a man being used by the Lord as a sword to ultimately lay you down and destroy you. Because you had the time, man, like it says in Proverbs, you had time to repent. You had time to get right. Hebrews, the 6th chapter, the 1st verse tells you, man, that it's gotten to a point where we shouldn't even have to tell you what the main goal is to do, man, that you should be here repenting on a daily basis, getting your spirit in order and being obedient. But seeing how you put that from you, hey, now it's just open game on you, man. It's destruction. Your enemy, the so-called white man, is coming against you with no mercy. And we're getting to that point, man. Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. Another lesson I was going to do today, Lord willing, was about how can you, Jakes, not understand the RFID chip? What's so hard to understand about it? Because when you go back to the 80s and before, even up to the 90s, that technology was never mentioned. It had always been an idea. But if you go back into commercials and what talks were being about, it was never about the RFID. All right. Once the 90s hit, you saw commercials like IBM, Selectron, what else, man? Flextronics. They were talking about this new device because everything was barcoded. But, they started talking about this new device that give us access to easier, conditioning of buying products and this and that, credit cards. And then it became this device that you can put in your hand. Your stubbornness is going to get you killed. And that's what we're approaching, man. The mean man is about to approach you. But this is second address. Just prove it to you that there's a man out there who's got a wrath against you, who's ready to kill you. And it's a so-called white man. This is second address 16. And 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. That's the anger of the so-called white man. All right. It says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Because, hey, we know what this was really about. All right. Esau trying to stop the taking away of his empire. All right. As long as the men of the Lord are out there preaching, and as long as we're alive, then it's a sign that he's definitely going down. And so this puts a lot of anger into this man because now he sees it. Great fear, going back to Revelation, the 11th chapter, at one point in time, man, this man was in great fear. He still is. But his reaction is that he's going to become what he naturally has always been, a bloody and destructive man, the son of perdition. And that behavior is going to roll over on you, Jakes. And again, we're coming to that time, Jacob's trouble. It says, for behold, verse 68, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. You got war coming onto America, man, from your own people. All right, from the ones who claimed that they're fighting for you in the name of peace, okay, to keep the cities of America, protected. Those same men are about to get orders to come back on you and to kill you. All right, because the elites are going to be forwarding their agenda. All right, the man with the hidden agenda. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. There's that word insurrection again, which it means, again, a violent uprising upon those that fear the Lord. It says, they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. This is ultimately that battle that we're having between Jacob and Esau, man. The elect, man, and all are you got the Israel of God. We're the main target, okay? And really, to Esau's eyes, any man holding the Bible or having a platform, a social media platform promoting the scriptures of the gospel in any fashion, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Catholicism, whether it be attempted Hebrew Israelism, you're an enemy to Esau. Okay. Don't forget that this man had a whole Bible burning movement. Going back to what is that? Let me get it in First Maccabees. Let me see. Let me see. Burnt the books. Let me try that. It's like for the misspelling. Yeah, First Maccabees 1 and verse 56. I might start up a little bit. This was done by Esau. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, during the time of what is it? Antiochus Epiphany, man. When he was trying to Hellenize everybody, basically trying to make all of Israel consent and bow down to one way and one way of thinking, right? Which is going on now. All right, you look at today, and that's why you have this Greco-Roman type of empire, man. Because during the Greek Empire, you had a lot of, that's where the first start of the beast system even really occurred. To get the world under submission, having everybody following one way or one doctrine, one philosophy, one ideology. All right, you had the branding, to basically state that a person belonged to their master or whatever. And then you have it all coming back again, man. But this time through the RFID, we already know. Okay. But this is where it started too. But this is all going to happen again. But the point that I'm getting to is First Maccabees 1. You know what? I'm going to just start at verse 41. First Maccabees 1 and 41 says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, which is what you got going on right now, man. In the WEF, the World Economic Forum events and meetings, even on the talk shows, the podcast, you got people talking about, the whole economy of America leading to one path. Okay, I can't remember. A brother posted a video where they're talking about the digital currency changing as of like August 1st, but it's not going to include the dollar bill. So this is exactly the same. All right, that everyone should leave it, that all should, but verse 41, moreover, verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people and everyone should leave his laws. All right, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king, which we already know that this is going to be something that's going to be implemented in this time. All right, and I use the word implement because there's actually more of a force behind that word and how they're actually going to, make this thing come to pass. It's going to be a forced fulfillment. All right. It says, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Shabbat. But you got that going on right now too, man. And it's commonly among you Jakes, man, that think you awake. It says, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. Now, bring it to right now. We ain't got no physical temple, man. All right. But Esau also does understand that people can be seen as a dwelling place. Now, to the whole nation of Israel, man, Esau's got us all polluted. All right. Look right there, verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. There you go. The water Yahweh Shem Yahshai. I didn't even see that. But you got this man, Esau, doing this right now, man. He's forced these crimes onto our people. All right. To where now even we are an extension of him. We act like the so-called white man. When we mention the word Pesach to you or Passover, you have no idea what's even going on. When we mention the Shabbat or Sabbath, huh? You don't even know what you are anymore, man. You don't even sacrifice to the Lord. And if you do, it's abominable. See, this man has worked a very long time. This criminal, going back to that word gang, the criminal has organized crimes throughout the land. That's why you got in Ezekiel, I believe, the 7th chapter, it says that the land is full of bloody crimes and a chain of violence because the so-called white man, the bloody and violent and deceitful man, is in power. And he's causing this all to come out upon our people. See? So you don't even know that this man's been working evil upon you this entire time, but you act like you're ready for what he's about to bring. It says, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, which you got that now, the churches, the liquor stores, all these, what do you call them, flea markets and pawn shops, these hideous Walmart and Target, man. And those are in the form, they're groves and not, you know what I'm saying? Salakia, not an actual grove. But we got to, we buy these nasty products and everything from the so-called white man. But it's Salakia, that's not what the grove is. The grove is like, a place of worship. All right. So the churches, I'm just adding those other things in. So Salakia, and then just clarifying. But it says to set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should all leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Ain't nothing in this world gonna keep us refined to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, following the so-called white man in his ways. All right. And that's why the Lord is actually coming back to destroy this place. That's why he's going to use that unclean man that you thought was your friend. Oh, the government would never do that to us. He's going to use him as well to whoop your ass. Okay. And I'll say this just to throw it out, man, a shout out as far as like the ones that have high disrespect when it comes to teaching this word too, man, you're going to fall under that unmerciful man. All right. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. Because if we keep the laws, man, all right, the Lord would actually come back. And Esau knows this. That's why he's working day and night. That's why you have what's it called? That's why if you go to a job, you got first, second, and third shift, man. These places never shut down. It's the same way with what he's doing to work evil upon Israel. Day and night, man, he's casting spells, using his soothsayers, his witches, his left-hand side demonic power to keep you Israelites, man, disenchanted. All right? It says to the end that they might forget the law, so you don't come back and remember who you are and change all the ordinances. It says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Now that does sound kind of simple. I'm not correlating to it, but it's always the same outcome when you disobeyed one of these men or one of these kings of these other nations. They'd always put you to death. And it's the same thing coming back now. Yep. Judith, the 5th chapter. The nations knew if we kept the laws, they couldn't take us down. In fact, let me get another. Let me see. Oh, it's leaving my train of thought. Never mind. I got it. In fact, let me go to Google instead. Lord willing, it gives me this. Yep. Psalms 81 and 13. Let me go ahead and go to the chapter. Psalms 81 and verse 13. It says, oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. I should soon have subdued their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. See, if we would repent, all right, if all Israel would repent, the Lord would come back right now. This is why Esau fights so damn hard, man. That's why he's constantly. Why do you think? This is just a side note. Why do you think Esau gave everybody on YouTube the ability to go live now? You don't even need to have 100, what do you call it, subscribers, because this word is overpowering everything, man. There's more videos of Great Millstone and of this truth being pushed out than there are of the folly and bullshit that America promotes. So he's like, fuck it, give everybody access so we can try to flood that, put that back into the bottle. All right? Because, again, like the brother posted, man, Esau knows. In fact, hold on. Can I post this? There you go. There. Select it. But yeah, man, which is why, like I said, Esau, he works very hard to try to keep this thing, hidden. All right. But to those that already understand, we already know that's not going to happen. But it's going back to First Maccabees 1:51. It says, in the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land, even drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. You got the, in the ancient times, man, you had, Israel being sought out and caught up, no matter where they went, because the heathen, the other nations, in particular Esau, they know every nook and cranny basically of this earth. And now today, man, they got technology that, what do you call it, sonar. They got heat vision. You ever watch Cops? When a helicopter looks at, for the perp at the middle of the night, they got that heat vision on, man. And they can find them in the woods, find them in a garbage can. And this time, which we're leading, like I'm correlating it to now, man, you see it. It's like a repeat of history, man. It says, even wheresoever they could flee for succor, that they were found. They were drove into the secret places. But, they were always found out, man, because the heathen, the enemy, man, they don't want Israel at all to live, man. Remember, they want to erase us, okay? Because they want to keep their establishment going, okay? So it says in verse 54, now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side. It's funny how in the Greek Empire, man, swine was the most heavily sacrificed animal at that time. And it was always, when Esau came in, man, swine was always being eaten and sacrificed. Just like you got today, man. Pork is prominent throughout the land. Jake is always eating that shit. It says that they built idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, see, look what Esau did. This is what the so-called white man did. When they had rent in pieces the books of the law, so they ripped them up, which they had found, they burnt them with fire. This cracker, man, this thug went throughout the land of Israel and burnt up the Bible. All right. And you want to act like this man, possesses some type of morality, or like he's just calm now, like we're living in peace. Like everybody thinks today, like racism ain't a thing. All right. Like Esau ain't just meditating on the jakes he works around and string them up by a rope and lynch them. Come on, man. You simple. What did the scriptures say, man? Never trust thine enemy. For though he go crouching, yet beware of him and watch him. The so-called white man will always be the bloody and vicious criminal that he's always been. He is a criminal. He's a man running from justice. Remember, he's a vagabond and a fugitive. A man running from judgment. That's a criminal. Okay? Shit, the first crime family on the earth was the Borgia family during the Renaissance period. That crime family, Crimson. Okay. So you can't say that this man is not looking to destroy you Israelites, man. And like I said, a lot of you guys, man, well, no, to Esau, man, anyone who holds the Bible, man, you're a terrorist. You're considered hostile. Okay. So check this out. Verse 57. Whosoever was found with any of the book of the Testament or the scriptures, right? Or if any committed to the law. So if you rehearsed the laws of the Most High, right? The king's commandment was that they should put him to death. How do you act like this man has changed from this when this is part of his history? This man is still around. You got vocab trying to say that the Edomites were done away. These are the fucking Edomites, man. But you got the same thing going on now. You had years ago, this man printed out the what do you call it? The Devil Bible or something like that. But the reason why they called it that was because there was a misprint on one of the 10 commandments where it said, thou shalt not commit adultery, but he printed it out and it said, thou shalt commit adultery. You know, why would you do that? You know, this is not a good man. And this man is getting ready to implement these same laws, except this time it's going to be again we already know it's coming to a point where he's going to make it to where you're going to have to put an implantable device into your hand or your forehead. And we might as well get it. It's going to basically be a signal or a sign that you submit to this system, to his way, that you identify as his own, that you allow him to claim you. Okay. No, let's see. It will pull up the book of Mark. Let's just get it. This is real, man. We have the scriptures here. Okay. We have the scriptures here to give us an insight of how particular nations worked in the past time, because they're still here today. All the original 18 nations are still here. Okay. And the ringleader, the wicked, the so-called white man, he's the one ruling the earth being given into the hand of the wicked. And it's him. And he's still working wickedness. He's still getting ready, man. Why do you think he signed off on this company, VeriChip, like back in like 2015, man, to produce, to like bulk produce like shit, man. It was like 400 million RFID chips. Yeah, man. But it's going to put to a point in time, man, where the king is going to rise up again. He's going to stand up again and declare throughout the whole land that everyone needs to submit to this new form of technology. Okay, it's going to help, collaborate humanity and make them as one and sync and everything and evolve. But it's all a trick. It's all a crafty scheme and trick. That's why it's called the RFID chip device. Okay. But we're getting to that time again where the king's going to stand up, and whoever's not going to receive whoever's not going to receive the king's sentence, basically, that the same commandment is going to go out, that they should be killed. All right. It said, I'll start at Revelation 13 and let's see. Revelation 13 and 14. It says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Now, keeping it in perspective with the RFID chip, which is what's going to be the main tool to try to deceive you people in the coming times. There's already been tell that this device has the power. What with Elon Musk, the Neuralink, AI integration, and all that. These devices ultimately leading up to the chip is going to give you the ability to walk again, to be able to talk again, to be able to see again, take away depression. These are miracles, all right, that Esau has power to do in the sight, because he's deceiving. It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, which the image of the beast was what? Which had the wound by a sword and did live, who was that? The Roman Empire, right? And that same image was revived through America ultimately. America pushes the same vibration and emulation of the Roman Empire. Okay. You even had, what was it? shoot, that just let the train that just, I just lost the train of my thought on that. Slack. But this is all, Rome revived. We already know that Revelation, the 13th chapter, goes all into Rome being revived and how they create the political system, what they're doing, the blasphemies, the agendas, all the secret, the deceptions and lies that Esau has been practicing over the world to keep power over them. All right. And ultimately, this is all to keep power over the earth, mainly you Israelites. Okay. The so-called white man wants to keep you Israelites as their captives so they can keep their enterprise going. But it said, Revelation 13 and 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now you got America, man, pushing. I know there's a verse. Let me see. Yeah, verse 13. This is ultimately how Esau pushes his power. Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Esau has always done things in a bully form, man. He's a bully. I keep going back to that word gangster. If you don't agree with him, man, he'll bomb your ass. I think it's funny, man. But this is how he achieves that forced worship. All right, through death, bombing you. All right, putting a missile into your city. Saying that a fireworks warehouse caught on fire, but damn well it was a missile. It says, but yeah, going back to Revelation 13 and 15, Esau's going to do it the same way again, man. That's why he's going to bring these troops in, the NATO troops. All right. You're going to have American soldiers, okay, coming, to fight against. They're going to be the ones putting you into the concentration camps, all right, by force, because you refuse to take it. Or even if you don't refuse, if they just rounding people up and throwing them in concentration camps, well, shit, they saw your channel. They saw you saying, I'm not going to take it. And then they come right to your doorstep and take you. This is the time to get into, man. While you were sitting down and comfy, all right, this man's meditating war upon you. In fact, before I finish this, I'll go in and get this in blue letter. You had this meme collaboration or whatever, where it had Jake, the comparison of what Jake is doing today versus what Esau's doing today. And when it showed Jake, looking fat, eating fried chicken and playing dominoes, getting drunk. But when it showed Esau, it shows even Esau's little kids, shooting up guns, miniguns, AKs, target practicing and all that. All right. This man is practicing. He's getting ready for war over you. It says Psalms 55 and Psalms 55 and 20. It says, he had put forth his hands. Who is the he? Esau, Edom, the wicked. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with them. Something I like to always bring out, man. You ain't never had Jake trying to start a war against Esau. Yeah, back in the 50s up to the 60s, 70s. Yeah, you had Jake starting to wake up to the truth, man. You had you had certain understanding being revealed to the scriptures. Jake was seeing that Esau really is a devil. Okay. Other than that, man, you ain't had Jake doing nothing. Well, really, that's also through the workings of the goddamn so-called white man, the evil agenda. He got Jake comfy. All right. But he ain't out there practicing war against you. That's how you've put the hand against such as those that be at peace with you. We just minding our own damn business trying to get through captivity. But it says he have broken his covenant because you are a brother. Esau is Jacob's brother, man. And you've broken that brotherly covenant. You still got that hatred in you that you had since the beginning of time, man. That hatred to where you want to kill your brother. I shall slay my brother Jacob. The days of my father's mourning are at hand. Therefore, will I slay my brother Jacob afterwards, basically. So it says right here, these are the revealings of your intents. It says that the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And Esau's always been a coward, man. He's always fought like this. He's always taken his real enemies down by stabbing them in the back. This devil, man, has worked a lot of deception. And we always make the comment that Esau is the perfect devil, man. He has been a perfect devil in the sight of Israel, all right, and throughout the world. But sticking on you 2/3, he's got you very comfortable, man. But at the same time, to the degenerates, he's drawn out that real nigga mentality, like fuck this, ride or die shit, always posting videos of blickies and AKs and whatever, man, Uzis. So he's gotten kind of a carousal out of you to get, what fun is a war if the enemy ain't shooting back or fighting? So to the ones that he really wants to reach, to stir up, hey, he's got you, man. You 2/3 Jakes. All right. So we're getting to that time, right? But this man is ready. He's ready for war. Are you? I'm not saying for you to mount up and lock and load. I'm just telling you, man, like a lot of these guys, man, a lot of you so-called hood rich, you beat ass niggas, whatever else, man. You don't know what's coming. All right. The days talk about it, how you're going to be as a woman in that time. And that's why ultimately, it took me, damn, it took me 45 minutes just to get to this, man. Salakia. But Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 5, because this is what's coming. Jacob's trouble. All right. Jacob's trouble is a real thing, man, and it is going to come to pass. It says, Jeremiah 30 and 5, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Why does it say that, though? See whether a man doth travail with child. When Salaki. And again, and see whether a man doth travail with child, because there's wailing, all right? There's yelling. See, a lot of these men, when Esau comes in like a flood, like it says in Isaiah 59, when Jacob's trouble is here, it's going to be a lot of war. There's going to be a lot of killing. There's going to be a lot of, what do you call it? Just, the scriptures in second Esdras, from 13, 14, 15, 16, it tells you what's on its way, man. Man coming against man. There's going to be so much great war in the land, so much killing, it's going to be a scarcity of men left. It said that there should be one in the field, another man shall desire to see another man. So it says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. When did this ever happen? Okay. You got guys out there, man, bug outs, saying that Jacob's trouble already passed, that we already suffered those things, in our past lives, man. Up from the time of, what is it? You've never even heard of it. Okay, I'll just say that. When you look through the history of every empire, which we've gone through 7 major captivities, all right, which is spiritual because that represents completion. We're in the 7th major captivity, which means it's our last. But when you look through all of these, you haven't heard of a report where there was a day like no other, like we're about to read, that happened to Israel, where men were screaming. In these past captivities, you had men fighting and standing up. Even in the siege of Masada in 73, 74 AD, you had people that bunkered themselves, all right, up into that fortress basically, because they weren't gonna give up. All right. This is a day that's talking about where basically all of you proud ass Jakes, man, you're gonna get laid out. All right, you're not gonna be able to fight. You're not gonna be able to stand up against the enemy. All right. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble, a time that is like no other, because it's a lot further worse. It's way more far worse. There you go. Salakia. It says, alas, for that day is great. Salakia, Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is the he part though? The elect. All right. Jacob's trouble is real. In fact, that's why I had Matthew 24. How should I say this, man? What was slavery our Jacob's trouble? Is that what you call Jacob's trouble? No, man. We had to entreat those things. We had to go through it. All right. This is a time when you actually read that, okay, it says, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. You're going to have some that aren't going to an extent, not be touched, as far as they're not going to have to deal with Esau and be killed. All right. But you ain't never had a time like this, man. There's going to be things. A brother described Jacob's trouble as worst. Essentially, everything that you're going to do, every action, everywhere you turn is going to be worst case scenario. Okay. You're going to have other nations in America, Salakia. You're going to have nation against nation. All right, people against people. You're gonna have people eating each other. That's why I had Baruch pulled up, because you had this happen before. But again, history repeats itself. You're gonna have this happening all over again. The grind is gonna cease. Ain't nobody gonna be working at the goddamn Capital One technical support during these times. It says Baruch 2:1 says, therefore the Lord hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us and against our judges that judge Israel. And against our kings and against our princes and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. All right. And that's coming back around again. You had that happen before. All right. The main example bros use is, back in 70 AD. But even before that, you had, I believe it was in 2 Samuel, man, during the Great Famine. You had women making agreements on on which of their childs they should eat first. But this is all coming to pass again. All these plagues that the Lord told us that if we did not hearken unto him, then this was going to come back unto us. It even says right there, moreover, he had delivered them. Who is them? Israel. He have delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are around about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord has scattered them. It said that thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our power, and have not been obedient unto his voice. Hey man, a brother posted a video this morning. I can't remember his full account name, but it's like GMS Motivation and Inspiration. I can't remember what state he's from, but he made a good video about basically we're in this time living to show we can be obedient. Now, going back to Jacob's trouble, man, and who it's going to be for, man. A lot of you Jakes, man, especially though they are the circumcision, right? Especially those that know they Israelites, the ones that they know they Israelites, they teaching false doctrine, or they speaking damnable heresies, or they speaking swelling words, man. You're going to get caught up in these times, okay? This is for the day of the Lord's judgment, man. The Lord is coming to judge you wicked ass Jakes. What's that one? Let me see. That's how you. No. Let's try that. All right. This is first. I think it's First Peter's 5, or is it 4? Salakia. First Peter's 4:17. It says, "For the time has come." For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, and that's starting with us, man. All right, starting amongst these camp, and we don't exclude ourselves, man. We understand. This is why we work so hard to keep ourselves in order, Lord willing. And you see the guys that aren't right, what happens to them? Okay, they get excommunicated, and if it be to the Lord's will that they don't, come back in order, then they bug out. All right, but there's a more severe judgment coming to you people, man. That, hey, like the scripture say in Second Ezra, that you shall know the Lord after death by pain, because you've been walking this whole time thinking you knowing the Lord, thinking you teaching sound doctrine, thinking that the shit that you talk is acceptable. All right. You got a lot of guys lately, man, that have been they've been speaking great swelling words. They've been speaking evil of dignities. They've been speaking evil of the dispensation that the Lord set up. All right. These are those guys, man, that the house of God is talking to them. The ones that are teaching contrary doctrine to you ain't gonna see Jacob's trouble. There's hell is a spiritual thing now. It's a spiritual hell. Um, Shit, what else, man? So like but there's far more other things, man. Or with IUIC, hell itself, man. All right, there's three forms of hells, and um, the ones that the 2/3 that go when they die, they're not going to come back. They're going to burn in hell forever. Yeah, man. All these guys, man, they're going to get destroyed. All right. That's why it says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High." Y'all going to get caught up in Jacob's trouble. It says, "And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?" That's the rest of you 2/3, man. Okay. That great and dreadful day that's coming, that's nearing and approaching, that a lot of you want to try to deny or decline to accept. That's who this day is coming for. Okay. So going back to what is this chapter or this tab? Yeah, Jeremiah 30 and 7. And again, I'm gonna say this again, man. Jacob's trouble did not already happen. And you know what? As much peace that could bring somebody, that's not the truth. Because shit, who wants to go through what's coming, man? When we know what Ezra saw it, man. He said, "Woe is me, woe is me. Who shall deliver me in these days?" Because the times that are coming, man, it's gonna look like we're not gonna be delivered. That's how bad it's gonna get. Those are the times that we're coming into, man. And a lot of you guys want to play around with this shit and try to, put that day off again. Hey, what did Ezekiel the 13th chapter say, man? That you ain't preparing our people for war? You're not preparing people for Jacob's trouble. It's really about to come to pass. Esau already did a number on our people to keep us complacent and comfortable, and you want to try to keep that above on their head again, man. Saying peace, peace when there was no peace. You wicked as hell. So you're going to be dealt with, man. Whether it be through Jacob's trouble, whether it be culminated with, hey, like the scriptures say, where you came in contact with a lion, then you around the corner was a bear, and you put your hand on the wall and there was a snake. Whether you make it through all this hell, you got the missiles to deal with. Either or, ain't none of you gonna escape untouched, or you're not gonna escape at all. Salakia. There's a scripture. Let me see. Try to see if I can find me. Yep. Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 15. It says, straight to the point, but it is not possible to escape thine hand. These judgments, man, Jacob's trouble, man, is to catch up a lot of these wicked ass Jakes. All right. A lot of you wicked ass delusion bug outs. Okay. To the ones that think they're the original 12. This is that day. That day was made for you. And as much as you want to try to deny it, with your mind, you ain't going to escape from the actual judgment that's coming, man, because it is not possible. All right. Let's see. What did I have? Going back to I didn't even cover, I don't want to get off topic, but I want to finish Revelation 13, man, because, hey, this is a very important topic too, man, lately. So I'm going to go ahead and just do it. Just jump real quick over, and then we'll go back. I'm going to get back to 24 and probably end it off there. But the reason why all this hell is coming, all right, the reason why the NWO is being pushed, all right, the one way of thinking, that's even what university is about. One turn many, unit vert into university, one turn many, get you to turn to the ways of this society and paradigm. Okay. But this Jacob's trouble is going to be a part of that, to kill you, Jakes, all right, and to force you to submit to Esau, all right. And if you don't, you should be killed. And this is their means, their crafty agenda that they're going to use to do it. Revelation 13 and 15 again. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So like it. Now, I want to show you something, man. When you look up the word he caused it, or to cause actually goes into had been programming you already. So we already see through gradualism, all right, preconditioning. All right, this man, Esau, has been, the so-called white man has been programming you to already willingly accept the RFID chip when it gets put out on, on the market. When it's offered up, you people are going to see it. You already seen it on YouTube, man. These, Slim Jim kids and all that. They've been, the cashier asking the kid, like, hey, how did you pay for that? And he says, oh, I got this, thing in my hand. They already got it, man, being advertised, man. You have it over there in Switzerland, all right? When the Rona hit back in, 2019 and all that, they had it all over the TV. Why Switzerland was already maskless, because they were showing that all these people received this mark in their hand, which was the RFID chip. All right, which, I'm gonna go ahead and get this real quick. Just a refresher. I'm pretty sure you know what an RFID chip looks like, but this is what they're pushing, man. Okay, this is what they're gonna push, and they're literally gonna push it into your body. They're gonna inject it. Oh yeah, you know what? Nope. I want this one. There you go. Yeah, you can already see it in the left hand. Let me click this picture. Right there. So tell me that you can't put that inside your body. Tell me that's not impossible. Look how they're doing it. They're injecting it. Small as a grain of rice. Okay. But this device has technology in it that has the power to hold all your health information, your record, your finances. All right, you can scan it to access the internet, unlock your doors, whatever. Isn't that what is already being pushed right now? There's something I seen earlier, man. Oh man, I'll just try like that. Seen this earlier on the TV, man. This new health monitor. Now you put it. This is right here. It's called the Health Style Libre 2, I believe. But you put this on your body, and you scan it with your phone. There's a chip inside this device that you scan with your phone, man, and it gives you all your what do you call it? Like it's monitoring your heartbeat, your pressure, and all that. Isn't this what's always being promoted? Accessing, your lights from your phone when you're 1,000 miles away. Oh, I forgot to turn off the stove. I wish you could have a video. I know there was a clip, but you can go online, man, today, and this is literally how they've preconditioned the world to accept the new technology that they keep on trying to quote unquote evolve and produce with. And it's all a lie. It's all deception, man. It's all deceivableness. Okay. It's, at the touch of one button, or all you got to do is wave your hand. Tired of getting your fat ass off the chair to get the remote? Well, never fear. RFID chip is here. They put a lingo to it. All right. This is what they're going to use, that mark, because they've already been programming you to accept it when it comes out. You're not going to really put up a much of resistance. All right. It says, Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. Well, both small and great, rich and poor. Anybody, man. Free and bond. Hey, free and bond goes into slave as well, man. We are slaves. But free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand. When you look at that word mark, we already know, man. All right. What does it go back to? Okay. Right there, the word charagma. All right. And when you look at the word charagma, it means a stamp or an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Hamashiach. But you go down and it says right here, a scratch or etching. All right. Let me see. Salakia. Yeah, this goes back to what is that? Luke, I believe. A pale or a stake, a palicide. Okay. So to sharpen to a point. Okay. To the idea of scratching. Okay. Let's see. Oh, what did it tell me? Why am I already a Greek or in Greek a stamp or brand? So this is why I was telling you earlier that this is how you know it's like a Greco-Roman society, because back then during the Greek Empire you had the slaves, all right, being branded. Okay, well, so you're telling me that in this time Esau is going to brand you? He's gonna line you people up, all right, and have a brand to put on your fucking arm or hand, and that's how we know you're ours. No, man. Going back, remember in First Maccabees, all right, the what is it, the 50th verse or so? I'm trying to do two things at once. Salaka. You had it to where they were able to find out Israel wherever they went. Remember, man, Esau wants to know where Israel is at all time. So how do you do something like that? What do you call it when you're constantly watching somebody? When you're constantly keeping their location and their whereabouts? You track them. All right, that device that I showed you earlier, the RFID chip, man, has the capabilities of tracking. Let me see if I can actually. RFID chip can track. Well, don't they? The whole thing with dogs. Okay. Let me see. I'll just see if we can just say it right here. Track hits playing hooky. Yeah, here we go. RFID powered indoor GPS, geopolitical. They're tracking you, man. So they're tracking their product. All right. Remember, man, this is all about Esau claiming and owning you. And when someone owns you, man, they claim you as their possession. So if you take this mark, you're going to signify to them that you are their product. You are a byproduct and extension of that man. You accept society how it is. You accept the weird, creepy ass way of living that is pushed on this place. Okay. I think it was said that Tel Aviv, Israel, is now the safest place. This was out on the news like a few days ago. It is now the safest place for pedophiles to be at now. Yeah, man. So if you take this mark, you're gonna acknowledge that you're okay with that, and that's what this is all about, man. So it says, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, which it means to make an incision. Okay. In that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And this is why there's so much confusion over it, man. There's also a lot of denial because you want to act like, it's a fucking tattoo barcode. Could Esau do it like that? Yeah, he could. But you could always scribble out what do you call it, a barcode, a tattoo. Is it a brand? Can you read, a brand of your skin? No. It's something in there, man. There's a device in it. There's something that when they scan you or you come across a laser reader, it picks up whatever was inside your body. All right. And it's that little grain of rice device. That's what it's going to be, man. It's going to be an RFID, radio frequency identification chip. And everything leading up to the culminating events of that is going to include Jacob's trouble with it. All right. Because again, Esau wants world dominant control. And he wants you Israelites mainly as your prisoners and captives forever. It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So you're not going to be able to do anything outside of what your master allows you to do unless you get that chip, the C hip. All right. So we're coming into very, dark times. All right. Times where this devil Esau has had all of his time, all of this time to get ready. He's had years and generations to prepare perfect war against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians because he's tired. He's tired of his product walking around acting like they don't have no damn owner anymore and, just go with life. He's about to bring the hammer down and make you remember that you're his prisoner. All right. But Matthew 24 and 21 says, For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no ever shall be. This is going to be, again, Jacob's trouble. All right. The mass wars and riots that's coming to America, where there's going to be a battle between all of you people. All right. A lot of the proud, man, a lot of these haughty spirits, man, you're going to get caught up in that line of fire. You're going to get thrown in, hit over with the head of the butt of an AR-15. The soldier's going to, do some fucked up shit in front of your face to try to make you take the C hip. All right, he's going to do things to your wife. He's going to do things to you. Yeah, man, don't just think that this war is just to kill you, man. He's going to really sport you like the devil that he is. And to those that want to try to put this day off, man, you are going to be first to go. All right? The ones that teach that Jacob's trouble is not a real thing or that it already passed, hey, well, let's see. At the end of the day, let's see, man, that great tribulation is going to come around again. All right? Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. Because in this time, man, Esau is going to have open, free game on your ass. All right? And it's going to be because why? The Lord is going to allow it to slaughter you wicked ass 2/3, man. Like I titled the lesson, you think you're a gangster, man, but wait till the real gangster comes to that room. Esau. All right. I'll give one more, then I'll end it off. This is Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. So the enemy is going to come in like a flood. They're just going to swoop into these cities, man, and wake up Jacob in the middle of the night, like a thief in the night, like the scriptures say. All right, these are the times we're coming up to, man. We're approaching, and your ass better be trusting in the Lord when that time's come. But hey, we already know to those that live in that proud mentality, man, that think the Lord is with them when they're not. Hey, man, the enemy's coming for you. So, hey, man, I highly advise, which really I don't care at this point, but I highly advise you take a look at yourself in the mirror, man, and really reevaluate and really seek out the proper way and not your way. But to these guys, man, hey, you're not going to listen. But hey, to hell with y'all. Jacob's trouble is for y'all. So with that, Lord, when this was edifying, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, a Barakatham. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And continue to hold fast, continue to be in a solemn spirit as well, man, because we're in this, we're still in the Pesach. All right. But, meditate and understand, man, what's also coming as well and be in the spirit of fear. All right. But hey, hold fast, man, and hold your integrity. Hey, but with that, Yahweh Bashem Meshach Brakatham, Kwam Mesha Allah Shalom.